Imagine unlocking a code so powerful it reshapes the way you lead, decide, and succeed. A code written more than 2,000 years ago by a man who believed greatness isn't an accident. Aristotle taught that excellence is a habit, a rhythm, a discipline, a way of living. Today, in a world filled with endless distractions, pressure, and constant choices, his philosophy isn't just relevant, it's essential. Most people don't fail from lack of opportunity. They fail from lack of alignment between who they are and who they say they want to become. Aristotle understood this long before modern psychology ever existed. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to apply these ancient principles, not as theory, but as the 3 unbreakable keys to the master code. This is a practical method for success in life and business. Your journey to unbreakable power begins now. Aristotle believed that everything we do aims at some form of good. He called it eudaimonia, often translated as human flourishing or true fulfillment. But this isn't about fleeting pleasure, applause, or short-term wins. It's about building a life where success flows naturally from your character, your habits, and your choices. In modern terms, think of it as aligning your mindset, strategy, and actions with who you truly want to become. So productivity, leadership, and personal growth stop being struggles and start being second nature. At the heart of Aristotle's philosophy is the idea of virtue. Virtue isn't simply moral. It's practical. It's the bridge between knowledge and action. Take courage, for example. Not blind recklessness, but the balanced courage that allows a CEO to take calculated risks or a teacher to stand firm in a challenging classroom. It's the same courage that lets a parent make tough decisions, a founder launch a bold idea, or a professional push through fear of failure. In every case, virtue is the habit that turns good intentions into tangible results. Aristotle also emphasized balance, the golden mean. Virtue exists between extremes. Too little courage and you're timid. Too much and you're reckless. Too little discipline and you procrastinate. Too much and you burn out. Modern life constantly pushes us to extremes. Emails, notifications, the pressure to always be on. The golden mean is the antidote. It's not about perfect balance every second. It's about knowing where you fall and adjusting deliberately, moment by moment. Think of a manager negotiating a contract. Leaning too far on aggression loses trust. Too far on concession loses opportunity. Aristotle's insight? Mastering this balance is not innate. It is learned, practiced, and habitual. Another cornerstone is decision-making. Aristotle taught that human excellence emerges from repeated right choices. Today, decision fatigue is real. People scroll endlessly, check emails compulsively, and face constant information overload. Applying Aristotle's method, we focus on deliberate choice, not impulsive reaction. Consider someone choosing a career path. Do they chase prestige, money, or external validation? Or do they align with their natural talents, values, and long-term vision? The answer lies in reflection, not rush. In modern business, leaders who pause, evaluate options ethically, and act consistently see breakthroughs. Those who don't are often trapped in cycles of reactive chaos. Aristotle also connected habit to identity. Excellence is not a goal you chase. It is a practice you live. Small, repeated actions compound into extraordinary outcomes. Imagine a daily routine. A professional dedicates 30 minutes to reading strategy books, another 30 minutes to reflection or journaling decisions. At first, it seems minor, almost trivial. Yet over months, these habits shape judgment, discipline, and leadership. This is Aristotle in action. The micro choices of today create the macro success of tomorrow. Even in leadership, his teachings resonate deeply. Leaders are not defined by position alone, but by the virtues they embody. Integrity, courage, fairness, and balance are not abstract. They are strategic tools. A team senses inconsistency immediately. Morale dips when leaders act without virtue. Conversely, consistent, disciplined, and principled leadership cultivates trust, productivity, and loyalty, directly impacting business success. In essence, Aristotle's wisdom is a manual for modern leadership. Every ethical decision, every balanced action, every virtuous habit compounds into results. Let's consider real-world examples in American life. Think of someone like Warren Buffett, not just a billionaire, but a master of disciplined choice and virtue. He invests with patience, avoids impulsive trends, and consistently applies principles over decades. Or consider an athlete like Serena Williams. Excellence achieved not through raw talent alone, but through daily practice, balanced decision-making, and mental discipline. Both embody Aristotle's principle. The habit of excellence creates outcomes that others may perceive as luck or talent, but which are the direct result of practiced virtue and strategic action. But it's not just CEOs or athletes. Imagine a teacher in a challenging urban school. By consistently applying balanced discipline, patience, and strategic choice, she influences hundreds of lives, creating ripple effects that are measurable, profound, and lasting. Aristotle's principles aren't elitist. They're universal. They apply to parents, students, entrepreneurs, and anyone who seeks meaningful results. So, what does this mean for you? First, excellence is a habit, not a wish. Second, balance is not optional. It's strategic. Third, decisions are your most powerful tool for transformation. Fourth, virtue is actionable. It's what bridges knowledge and results. When you understand these foundations, you start seeing opportunities and challenges differently. Choices become clearer, priorities sharper, and growth inevitable. And here's the key insight. In modern life, distractions will always multiply. Pressure will always intensify. Opportunities will appear and vanish. Yet, by internalizing Aristotle's framework, you create a stable internal compass. You don't rely on external circumstances to determine success. You become the architect of it. Your habits, virtues, and decisions compound daily, quietly shaping your destiny. But this is just the beginning. Understanding Aristotle is one thing, but applying it deliberately in modern life is where transformation truly happens. In the next chapter, we'll explore the real challenges most people face today: overwhelm, distraction, and inconsistent habits, and why Aristotle's method is not just relevant, but essential to mastering them. We live in a world designed to fragment our focus. Notifications ping constantly. Meetings pile up. Social media tells us what success should look like, while our email inboxes scream urgency every hour. Despite all this access to information and opportunity, people feel stuck, overwhelmed, and chronically unproductive. Aristotle would recognize this immediately, not as a technological problem, but as a human one. Our habits, choices, and virtues are being tested more than ever. The first major challenge is decision overload. Every day we make hundreds of choices: what to eat, how to spend time, who to meet, which project to prioritize. Small decisions seem inconsequential, yet they accumulate and determine outcomes in ways we rarely notice. A CEO deciding whether to pivot strategy under pressure, or a parent juggling career and family, both face the same reality. The wrong decision, repeated daily, compounds into frustration and failure. Aristotle's principle of deliberate choice is more critical today than ever. Without reflection and balance, our lives become a series of reactive motions, not strategic actions. The second challenge is the illusion of busyness. Modern culture glorifies being busy, as if activity equals achievement. We fill calendars, respond to every email, and chase every opportunity, mistaking motion for progress. Aristotle's teachings expose the fallacy here. Real excellence doesn't come from doing everything. It comes from doing the right things, consistently, with virtue. A marketing manager who attends every meeting but never allocates time for strategic planning might feel productive, but results will stagnate. The golden mean teaches us that the middle path, the balance between effort and reflection, is where true growth lies. The third challenge is distraction and short-term gratification. Social media, streaming, instant news, all of it competes for our attention, eroding discipline and focus. Aristotle's wisdom reminds us that excellence is cultivated through repeated, intentional practice, not in pursuit of immediate pleasure. Consider someone trying to build wealth or a career. Spending hours scrolling Instagram or binge-watching shows may provide temporary relief, but it erodes long-term discipline, the very foundation of success. Modern life tempts us with extremes, and without virtue, balance, and deliberate choice, it's all too easy to fall into mediocrity. The fourth challenge is ethical and strategic misalignment. Today, opportunities abound, but not all paths lead to sustainable success. People chase fast money, recognition, or social validation, often compromising their values. Aristotle called this living against your own nature, a recipe for dissatisfaction. In business, a company might prioritize short-term profits over integrity, creating immediate wins but long-term instability. In personal life, chasing external validation at the cost of health, relationships, or mental clarity may feel rewarding in the moment, but it leads to burnout, regret, and imbalance. Leadership, whether in business or life, requires conscious alignment between action and virtue. Without it, success is hollow. Another challenge is the culture of instant results. Modern society demands immediate outcomes, quick fixes, and viral success. Aristotle's approach, however, is patient and deliberate. Excellence takes time. Habits compound slowly. Virtue requires consistent practice. Look at American icons like Jeff Bezos or Oprah Winfrey. Their results weren't instant. They were built over decades of disciplined, principled action. Yet many people quit early because they confuse speed with effectiveness. Aristotle would argue that real transformation is cumulative, gradual, and intentional. Even the most talented individuals struggle with self-doubt and fear of failure. In a society that broadcasts achievement constantly, it's easy to measure ourselves against unrealistic standards. Fear of failure paralyzes action. Aristotle's teachings remind us that courage is not the absence of fear. It's choosing right action despite it. Entrepreneurs, leaders, parents, and creatives all face this fear, yet the ones who integrate virtue and deliberate habits consistently act anyway. They turn anxiety into opportunity, hesitation into decisive action, and doubt into discipline. Then there's the challenge of imbalance in life domains: work, family, health, personal growth. Few people manage to excel in more than one area simultaneously. Modern pressures pull us in every direction. Aristotle would call this living out of harmony, where external pressures outweigh deliberate, virtuous choices. The result is stress, indecision, and stagnation. Yet, when we apply the golden mean, we learn to calibrate effort, energy, and focus, allocating attention where it matters most while avoiding extremes that lead to burnout or neglect. Consider this modern American example. A successful tech executive earns six figures, manages a high-performing team, yet feels exhausted, disconnected from family, and empty inside. The challenge isn't lack of skill or ambition. It's imbalance, distraction, and misaligned priorities. Or think of a small business owner working 14-hour days, sacrificing sleep and health for short-term revenue. The consequence is stress, missed opportunities for growth, and a slow erosion of happiness. Aristotle's philosophy directly addresses these struggles. It teaches us to recognize extremes, choose deliberately, and build habits that compound into long-term fulfillment. The emotional weight of these challenges is significant. Stress, guilt, and frustration accumulate silently. People know what they should do: exercise, focus, prioritize, invest in growth, but action rarely aligns with intention. Aristotle's framework is designed precisely for this. It turns wisdom into structured, practical habits. It transforms theoretical understanding into real-world mastery, even amidst chaos, distraction, and competing demands. Here's the truth. Modern challenges are not random. They are predictable, systemic, and solvable. Decision fatigue, distraction, imbalance, fear, and misaligned priorities are hurdles, not barriers. By identifying these challenges, you can see where Aristotle's ancient wisdom intersects with your modern life. You can start building the habits, virtues, and strategies that create breakthrough results. But identifying challenges is only step one. Awareness alone doesn't generate transformation. Action is required. Aristotle's philosophy: to regain focus, build discipline, and cultivate habits that compound into extraordinary success. Knowing the principles of Aristotle is one thing. Living them is another. This chapter is about turning philosophy into actionable habits, small, deliberate steps that compound into extraordinary results. Excellence is not a vague idea. It's a daily practice. Aristotle said, "We are what we repeatedly do." Excellence, then, is not an act, but a habit. In modern terms, it's about creating routines that align your mindset, decisions, and behavior with your highest goals. Step one is identify your core virtues and priorities. Aristotle's philosophy starts with understanding who you are and who you want to become. Write down the values that matter most: discipline, integrity, courage, balance, productivity, leadership. Then, examine how your daily actions align with these values. For example, if balance is a priority but you constantly sacrifice sleep for work, you're living in conflict with your virtue. Awareness is powerful, but action is transformative. Step 2. Design microhabits that reinforce these virtues. Don't try to overhaul your life overnight. Aristotle's genius was in understanding the compounding effect of small, consistent actions. Want discipline? Start with a 10-minute daily reflection or journaling session to plan priorities. Want courage? Take one deliberate risk each week. A difficult conversation, pitching an idea, or making a decision you've been avoiding. Want productivity? Block 90-minute focus sessions, free from notifications. These micro-actions might feel small, almost insignificant, but over time, they rewire your decision-making, focus, and self-mastery. Step 3. Practice the golden mean in real time. Every decision you make is an opportunity to apply Aristotle's balance. For instance, in leadership, a manager faces a team dispute. Reacting too harshly creates fear. Being too lenient invites chaos. The balanced response, firm yet empathetic, resolves conflict, maintains respect, and demonstrates virtue. In personal life, the golden mean applies too. Too much work destroys health and relationships. Too little effort stunts growth. The art is in calibrating effort, time, and energy, moment by moment. Step 4 is reflect and adjust daily. Aristotle placed immense value on reflection. End each day by asking, did my actions today reflect my virtues? Did I exercise courage, balance, and discipline? Keep a simple journal, noting successes and missteps. Modern science confirms this practice improves self-awareness, decision-making, and emotional resilience. Reflection transforms experience into wisdom, and wisdom guides action. Step 5. Set up accountability systems. Even Aristotle recognized that humans are social beings. Share your goals with a mentor, coach, or peer. Track your progress publicly or privately. Use tools like habit trackers or digital reminders. Accountability is a modern extension of Aristotle's principle. Excellence is a habit reinforced by consistent, deliberate action and reinforced by community or systems. Step 6. Embrace the power of incremental progress. Americans are obsessed with breakthroughs, overnight success, viral fame, rapid promotions. Aristotle teaches patience. Habits compound slowly, and mastery takes time. Warren Buffett reads hundreds of pages daily, not to gain instant wealth, but to sharpen judgment over decades. Serena Williams trains relentlessly, day after day, even when the results are not immediate. Small, repeated actions create a foundation that carries you through high-pressure moments and complex decisions. Step 7. Apply virtue to every decision, big or small. Aristotle's insight was simple yet profound. Excellence is visible in every choice. Choosing honesty over convenience, focus over distraction, effort over avoidance, balance over extremes. These daily decisions accumulate into extraordinary outcomes. A professional who consistently makes ethical, strategic choices gains trust and influence, often faster than someone chasing shortcuts. A parent who consistently models balance and patience shapes the next generation of decision-makers. Virtue, applied repeatedly, becomes visible in your results and reputation. Step 8. Use obstacles as opportunities. Modern life is full of stress, failures, and setbacks. Aristotle emphasized resilience, not as mere endurance, but as active learning and adaptation. When you encounter failure, pause. Analyze your response. Did you act with virtue? Could balance have shifted the outcome? Small adjustments transform setbacks into growth. Entrepreneurs, athletes, and leaders all understand this principle instinctively. Aristotle codified it centuries ago. Finally, step 9. Scale these habits into strategic impact. Once daily microhabits are established, apply them to larger goals. Planning quarterly business objectives, executing career pivots, or mastering personal transformation. These actions benefit from the same disciplined, balanced approach. Every meeting, every email, every personal interaction is an opportunity to practice virtue and excellence. The habits you cultivate become the framework for predictable success. And here's the subtle but powerful insight. Action breeds clarity, clarity strengthens discipline, and discipline reinforces virtue. The cycle becomes self-sustaining. Each small victory motivates the next. Each virtuous choice compounds. Soon, you're not just reacting to life, you're designing it. You're not chasing success. You're living it, naturally and consistently. Here's how to take it further. By combining virtue, discipline, and balance at scale, you can achieve breakthroughs that most people only dream of. Excellence in daily habits lays the foundation, but leadership and strategic impact demand something more. Aristotle's philosophy doesn't just teach personal growth. It teaches how to wield influence, make ethical decisions, and lead with balance and purpose. In the modern world, leaders face unprecedented pressure. Complex markets, fast-changing technology, high-stakes decisions, and teams that demand vision, fairness, and inspiration. Without Aristotle's principles, leadership becomes reactive, stressful, inconsistent, and ineffective. At the core of Aristotle's leadership philosophy is decision aligned with virtue. True leaders act not out of fear, greed, or impulse, but from a deliberate integration of ethics, strategy, and long-term vision. Consider a CEO evaluating a risky merger. The short-term gain might be immense, but if it compromises integrity, team trust, or sustainability, it's a poor choice. Aristotle's approach: balance risk and reward, evaluate outcomes ethically, and act consistently. This isn't theory, it's applied strategy. Modern American businesses succeed not because of sheer opportunity, but because leaders consistently make virtuous, deliberate choices that compound into results. A second strategy is the power of balanced delegation and influence. Aristotle emphasized that no individual thrives alone. Leaders must cultivate their team's strengths, distribute responsibility wisely, and inspire trust through consistent ethical action. A tech startup founder, for example, can't code, market, and lead simultaneously. By trusting competent team members, empowering them with clear values, and modeling disciplined habits, a leader multiplies their impact exponentially. Balance here is critical. Too much control stifles growth. Too little invites chaos. Leadership is mastery of both action and influence. Third, Aristotle teaches strategic foresight through deliberate reflection. High-performing leaders don't just react, they anticipate. Daily reflection, scenario planning, and evaluation of past decisions allow leaders to anticipate challenges, recognize opportunities, and avoid repeated mistakes. Consider a political leader, an executive, or even a small business owner in the US. Those who pause to reflect, measure impact, and refine strategy consistently outperform those who act impulsively. Reflection transforms experience into actionable intelligence, turning daily decisions into cumulative advantage. Next, let's discuss ethical excellence as a competitive edge. In modern business, ethics is not just a moral choice, it's a strategic one. Companies with consistent, principled leadership attract loyal customers, talented employees, and sustainable growth. Aristotle's insight: virtue isn't optional, it is foundational. Leaders who consistently choose transparency, fairness, and integrity don't just avoid crises. They cultivate reputations that amplify influence and opportunity. A leader who sacrifices long-term reputation for short-term gain may win today, but lose everything tomorrow. Ethical decisions, grounded in virtue, compound into unshakable trust and lasting success. Another principle is mastering high-stakes decision-making under pressure. Stress and uncertainty test character. Aristotle's golden mean applies here too. Leaders must find the balance between caution and boldness, optimism and realism, assertiveness and patience. Consider a CFO navigating economic downturns. Excessive risk can bankrupt a company. Excessive caution can let opportunity slip. By practicing virtue, strategic reflection, and disciplined judgment, Leaders consistently make decisions that maximize opportunity while minimizing avoidable harm. Aristotle also emphasizes personal growth as a leadership tool. Modern leaders are expected to be visionary, decisive, empathetic, and disciplined simultaneously. To achieve this, invest in habits that sharpen judgment, focus, and emotional intelligence. Morning routines, reflection journals, mentorship, and deliberate learning become non-negotiable tools. Leaders like Satya Nadella at Microsoft or Sheryl Sandberg at Facebook didn't reach excellence overnight. They cultivated daily habits that reinforced discipline, strategy, and ethical action, aligning their personal growth with organizational impact. A fifth advanced strategy is leveraging opportunity through calculated action. Aristotle taught that opportunity favors preparation. Leaders who combine foresight, balance, and disciplined action can recognize and capitalize on chances others miss. A startup founder spotting market trends, a politician anticipating voter shifts, or an investor evaluating early-stage companies all apply this principle instinctively. The difference between ordinary outcomes and breakthrough success lies in preparation, virtue-driven decision-making, and courage. Additionally, Aristotle's wisdom guides organizational culture. Companies are not just structures. They are ecosystems of habit, virtue, and influence. Leaders set the tone. Disciplined habits, ethical standards, and balanced decision-making ripple through the organization. A culture grounded in virtue and consistent action attracts high performers, encourages accountability, and creates resilience in times of disruption. In contrast, neglecting these principles leads to chaos, mistrust, and stagnation. Leadership is therefore not just what you do, but what you inspire in others. Consider this modern American example. An executive team faces a major crisis, a product failure with potential reputational damage. Some leaders react impulsively, blaming teams and making rash decisions. Others, guided by Aristotle's principles, pause, assess the facts, balance risk and ethics, communicate transparently, and implement a strategic solution. The difference? The latter team preserves trust, minimizes loss, and strengthens long-term credibility. Excellence is visible not in calm situations, but in moments of high stakes, when character, discipline, and virtue define outcomes. Finally, Aristotle's advanced strategies highlight the interplay of personal mastery and organizational impact. A leader cannot delegate courage, judgment, or discipline. They must embody it. Habits, reflection, and deliberate choice are amplified through influence, multiplying results. In other words, personal excellence is the engine. Leadership is the transmission that converts it into impact. Leaders who master this alignment achieve not only personal success, but also transformation in their organizations, teams, and communities. And here's the key insight. Leadership, strategy, and high-stakes decision-making are not separate from personal growth. They are the natural extension of disciplined habits, balanced action, and virtuous choice. Aristotle's framework provides a roadmap for leaders to navigate complexity, inspire teams, and achieve results that endure. By now, you understand the principles, the challenges, and the actions required. But mastery is more than knowing, it is becoming. Aristotle's wisdom isn't a set of rules, it's a path to transformation. True mastery emerges when discipline, balance, and virtue integrate so seamlessly into your life that excellence becomes your default state. You don't chase success. It manifests naturally because your habits, choices, and mindset align perfectly with your highest potential. Transformation begins with identity alignment. Who you are today determines the results you achieve tomorrow. Aristotle taught that we become the sum of our habits and choices. Every courageous action, disciplined routine, and ethical decision reinforces your identity. The CEO who consistently models integrity doesn't just earn respect. They shape the culture, influence outcomes, and attract opportunity. The parent who practices balanced leadership at home doesn't just teach values. They live them. Transformation is visible when your actions consistently reflect the person you aspire to be. Next, mastery requires relentless focus on growth. Aristotle believed that human flourishing is continuous. It never ends. Modern life offers endless distractions, but true mastery demands deliberate focus. Read strategically. Reflect daily. Challenge yourself. Push boundaries in skill, mindset, and influence. Consider Serena Williams. Her dominance on the tennis court isn't just talent. It's daily incremental improvement, reflection on performance, and unwavering discipline. Excellence becomes inevitable when continuous growth is non-negotiable. A critical element of transformation is resilience through virtue. Life will test you. Failures, setbacks, and unexpected obstacles are inevitable. The difference between mediocrity and mastery lies in response. Aristotle emphasized courage, temperance, and prudence, not abstract virtues, but tools for resilience. When you fail, you analyze, adjust, and act again with deliberate balance. Entrepreneurs navigating market shifts, executives leading through crises, or everyday professionals overcoming setbacks, all embody this principle. Mastery is not a straight path. It is resilience practiced repeatedly. Aristotle also highlights strategic vision as a cornerstone of transformation. Mastery isn't just personal, it is expansive. Leaders, innovators, and influencers think beyond immediate results, aligning daily actions with long-term goals. Warren Buffett reads, researches, and reflects daily not for instant profit, but for decades-long strategic advantage. Similarly, mastering your life requires aligning habits, choices, and virtues with your ultimate vision. Transformation is compounded when every decision serves both immediate action and long-term purpose. Another element is the compounding power of habits. Small, consistent actions amplify over time. Journaling, disciplined reflection, focused learning, exercise, strategic risk-taking, all reinforce excellence. Modern psychology confirms what Aristotle observed. Habits form the backbone of identity, and identity shapes outcomes. A professional who writes strategic priorities daily, exercises disciplined decision-making, and practices ethical action gradually creates influence, results, and authority that feel almost effortless. Transformation is the natural outcome of habitual excellence. Then comes integration across life domains. Mastery is holistic. It unites personal, professional, and relational success. Leaders who achieve business breakthroughs while nurturing family relationships, health, and personal growth exemplify Aristotle's holistic approach. Balance is not passive, it's strategic. The golden mean applied to career, relationships, and personal development produces not just success, but sustainable fulfillment. True transformation is multidimensional. Consider a real-world example. An American entrepreneur starts a business with ambition but limited structure. By applying Aristotle's principles, reflective planning, balanced risk, disciplined habits, and ethical leadership, they transform not only the company into a market leader, but themselves into a visionary, respected figure. The same principles apply to anyone, anywhere. Transformation is predictable when you integrate virtue, habit, and deliberate action. Mastery also requires deliberate mentorship and influence. Aristotle understood that humans are social beings. Learning from others accelerates growth. Seek mentors who embody the virtues you aspire to. Surround yourself with people whose habits reinforce excellence. Influence others through ethical leadership, example, and vision. Mastery is amplified when your personal excellence extends outward, shaping teams, communities, and organizations. Finally, Aristotle's ultimate promise: freedom through excellence. When virtue, balance, and discipline become habitual, you are no longer a slave to distraction, fear, or reactive living. Your decisions are deliberate. Your influence is strategic. Your life flows with intention. This is the transformation Aristotle envisioned, not mere success, but flourishing, impact, and legacy. Success becomes sustainable, leadership becomes natural, and personal fulfillment is inevitable. And here's the profound insight: every micro-habit, every balanced decision, every courageous action compounds into a life of mastery. You don't chase excellence, it becomes your identity. Challenges become opportunities. Setbacks become lessons. Distractions dissolve in the face of deliberate focus. Opportunity meets preparation. Potential becomes reality. This is the life Aristotle promises, a life where growth, leadership, and personal fulfillment are inseparable. But transformation is only complete when action continues daily. Mastery is a lifelong practice. Each morning, you choose virtue. Each decision, you practice balance. Each interaction, you lead with integrity. Each failure, you reflect and adjust. This is not theory. This is Aristotle applied in the modern world, where success, influence, and fulfillment converge. In the next and final segment, we'll distill key takeaways, a practical roadmap to implement everything you've learned. You'll leave with clarity, purpose, and the tools to create lasting transformation in every area of your life. Here's the essence: excellence is a habit, balance is your compass, and virtue is your guide. Every choice, every action, every small habit compounds into transformation. Success, leadership, and fulfillment aren't accidents. They're the natural result of deliberate, disciplined, and virtuous living. Now it's your turn. Apply these principles today. Reflect, act, and embrace the golden mean in every decision. Your life, your career, your legacy are waiting. If you found value in this, subscribe and hit the notification bell so you never miss a breakthrough. Comment below with your biggest insight or action step. You'll inspire others too. And don't stop here. On your left, watch The Secret to Happiness: Why Modern Life is a Lie. On your right, check out our most recent video to continue unlocking your potential. Keep learning, keep growing, keep transforming.